Crow pose is often one of the first arm balances that we learn in yoga. And the Sanskrit name for it is Bakasana. Often we hear it referred to also as Bakasana. It is a very challenging pose, even though it is the first arm balance that many of us learn. Let's take just a few minutes to break down the pose. To start out, you may want to block to help you out, give you a little bit of a lift through your lower body, help you get up a little bit higher. So you're going to place your hands underneath your shoulders and step up onto the block. So that way your hips are a little bit higher. You want your hips nice and high. You're going to bend your elbows straight back like you're doing chaturanga. You don't want them to bend out to the side like a normal push-up, but straight back like chaturanga. That's the base of many of our arm balances, is that straight, elbow straight back shelf that we're creating. Elbows come straight back. Now, you can take your knees wide and wrap them on the outside of your triceps and squeeze in. That's often the first way that we will learn Bakasana, and you may find it to be easier to do it this way. The other option is to go right ahead and place them directly on the backs of your arms. If you're going to do that, it's going to likely be easier if you can get them nice and high, even up into your armpits, rather than lower down towards your elbows. So I'll show you first with the knees squeezing the arms. So lift your hips high, squeeze your knees on the outside of your arms, lean forward, round through your upper back, push the ground away, and then lift one foot, maybe lift the other foot. You really, 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 really have to lean forward for this, and you squeeze your foot towards your butt. And then slowly you can lower your toes back down. That's one way to do crow. Now, it is a little scary leaning forward like that. So if you want to place a pillow, something soft there in case you fall, I've also seen people even put a block there to rest their head on. That is certainly something you could do as well. The other way to do crow pose, as I said, is for your knees to be directly on your arms, up as high into your triceps as you can get them. So again, hips are nice and high. Now our knees are in our triceps. Lean forward. Again, you have to lean forward a lot. Lift one foot, then the other, or both at the same time. You're still going to round the upper back. You're still going to pull your feet in towards your butt. So really the only difference between the two is where your knees are. And again, that outside and squeezing in may be an easier place to start. As you gain strength, if you're able to put your knees on the back of your arms, that will work you up to eventually potentially straightening your arms for what is known as crane pose. That is actually Bakasana. Arms straight. So, feet on blocks is one way to start. It's a nice little lift for your hips. As I said, sometimes people will put a block in front for their head to rest on, or a pillow to catch them. And then you can always try practicing it as well. No block. Still keep your hips nice and high. Elbows go straight back. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. And eventually your feet lift right up. Pull your feet in towards your butt as much as you can. Look straight down. Don't look forward. Don't look straight way back. Round through your upper spine. Push the ground away. Squeeze your core. The more you squeeze your core, the more you're bearing the weight, lifting, your weight up, and you're not pushing down into the ground as much. So you feel lighter the more you're able to engage your core. One of the most common things that I see people do when they're struggling with crow pose is their feet are just hanging loose. So it's maybe something more like this. Their feet are just kind of hanging down. Okay. Really, really, really squeeze your feet towards your butt. Again, all of that engagement through your lower body, and your core helps lift you up and away from the ground and helps to take away from some of the work that your shoulders have to do. So really squeeze your feet towards your butt as much as you can. Draw your belly button back towards your spine. Push the ground away. Crow pose. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments.